what we've done up to this point is we've created a couple different types of components. We've created a page rendering component that takes information from the repository and renders that content onto a page so that it's displayed to the user. And then we've also created a dynamic navigational component that displays pages that are children of other pages, which again is very useful. And just these two items can compromise up to 50% of your work as a CQ developer. Now, one of the things that you'll often do as a CQ developer is you will often go through and you will let authors enter content into the page. And of course, that's the whole reason that we purchased CQ. So now in order to have authors enter content onto the page, the authors have to have a JavaScript dialog box where they can enter in that information. And there's a whole bunch of different widgets that come with CQ. So there's tabs, there's text controls, there's list boxes, there's grids, there's all these different controls that you can use in your dialog boxes. And all of these are built on the Sencha JavaScript framework. And all we have to do is create these inside of the repository, and CQ will automatically build out all the needed JavaScript. So this is very useful, and let's explore how to do this. We're going to create a very simple component that ultimately will let an author enter the title of a page. So let's create a title component. So here in your components directory, under your content folder that you created earlier, just say new component, and let's call this component title. We'll call this our training title component. Okay, and we'll just call this training title component. And then go ahead and click finish. And this is going to build that. Okay, there's our title component. And then inside of the title.jsp, let's just simply add in some very simple code that'll go out and actually get the title of the page. So here I'm going to add in an h2 tag so we can actually see it. And then I'll add in a server tag. And I'll use my properties object inside of CQ that we looked at earlier. And I'll use the get method here. And I'll say get the title of the page. And then I'll say current page dot get title. Okay, fairly straightforward. And then make sure that your server tag is closed. Okay, and then also make sure that your h2 tag is closed. Okay, so there's a very simple title component. And then what I'll do is I'll go back to my content.jsp, and here's the div that we have. This is our placeholder for the actual title component. So now I'm just going to do a CQ include, and in the CQ include, I'm going to include the code that I just wrote. Path, this is the path in the repository, so this is going to create this inside of the repository. Let's call it title_node, so we know where it's created, because remember, everything is content in CQ. So there it's going to create that in the repository. And then let's say resource type is equal to training / components / title. Okay. And that's in my content directory. So I'll choose content there and put in that path. So that will indicate that. And now let's test this and make sure that this works. Again, we haven't done anything with authors yet. But let's go to, say, my company page. And if I did this correctly, you should see the word company appears here for the title of your page. And let's try services. And you should see that services appears. Perfect.